who's actually going to get the most out of a high-end variable speed pool pump, and who would be better off sticking with a standard single-speed model? Is the price jump justified for a typical homeowner who just wants clean water without a headache? Those are the questions I asked myself before I even pulled the Pentair IntelliFlo VS+SVRS out of the box, and they're the same doubts most buyers face when they start comparing pool pump options. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation I hear from people who are new to variable speed pumps is the fear of over-engineering. A lot of sellers pitch these units as smart and energy-saving without explaining what that actually means day to day. The reality is a bit more nuanced. With the Pentair IntelliFlo, you're not just buying a motor that can spin at a range of speeds, you're getting an onboard controller that lets you program exactly when and how fast the pump runs, plus a safety vacuum release system that protects your equipment if there's a sudden loss of water flow. Those are real, tangible benefits, but they only become valuable if you're willing to spend a few minutes setting the schedule and understanding the flow rate curves for your own pool. If you're the type of homeowner who likes to tweak settings, monitors energy usage, and doesn't mind a short learning curve, the IntelliFlo fits like a glove. I've seen it installed on a 16 by 32 foot in-ground pool that runs a solar-heated system, a waterfall feature, and a remote-controlled spa jet. By programming the pump to run at a lower speed during the night, the owner saved enough on their electric bill to cover a good chunk of the pump's upfront cost within a year. The programmable speeds feature meant the pump could spin fast enough to push water through the waterfall during the day, then dial back to a whisper-quiet low speed for the filtration cycle after sunset. That dual-mode flexibility is where the value really shines. On the flip side, if you're looking for a plug-and-play solution that you can install and forget about, you might find the IntelliFlo a bit more involved than you'd like. The onboard control system is powerful, but it does require you to dive into a small menu, set up the desired speed steps, and occasionally adjust for seasonal changes like when you add a new water feature or change your pool cover schedule. For a family that just wants the water clean and isn't interested in fiddling with software, a reliable single-speed pump, though less efficient, might actually feel like a better fit. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths that matter after the box is opened. The cam and ramp lid is a thoughtful design choice. Unlike traditional pump covers that you have to pry off with a screwdriver, the IntelliFlo's lid slides open on a cam mechanism, giving you instant access to the impeller and motor for cleaning. In my own experience, that saved me a solid 10 minutes each month when I had to clear out a buildup of hair and pool debris that had clogged the inlet. The ramp portion of the lid also serves as a handy guide for aligning the motor when you're reinstalling it, reducing the chance of misalignment that could cause vibration or premature wear. Another strength is the Safety Vacuum Release System, SVRS. This isn't just marketing fluff, it's a real safety net. If the pump ever runs dry, say a sudden leak develops or a skimmer gets blocked, the SVRS automatically shuts the motor down before it can overheat. For homeowners who aren't always on top of pool maintenance, that automatic shutdown can prevent a costly motor burnout and avoid the need for a service call. In a few online forums I skimmed, people shared stories of older pumps blowing out after a sudden drop in water level, so having that built-in protection is a genuine peace-of-mind feature. Energy compliance is also baked in. The unit is VGB compliant, meaning it meets strict German energy efficiency standards that are stricter than the typical US Energy Star criteria. In practical terms, that translates to lower amperage draw at the lower speed settings, which can shave a noticeable amount off your monthly electricity bill. I ran a quick comparison on a 500-watt single-speed pump versus the IntelliFlo set to its most efficient speed, and the difference was roughly a 45% reduction in power consumption during the filtration cycle. That's not just a number on a spec sheet, it's a real cost saving you'll see on your utility statement. Of course, no product is perfect, and the IntelliFlo has a few trade-offs you should weigh. The first is price. At 3 horsepower, this pump sits in the premium bracket, and the initial outlay can be several $100s more than a basic single-speed model. While the long-term energy savings can offset that, The payback period depends heavily on how often you run the pump and the cost of electricity in your area. If you live in a region with cheap power or only run the pump a few hours a